Hey everyone, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that I can barely contain myself. We're going to talk about this in a second. Can you see what this says? The company? Staedtler Pigment Brush Pens. You know I have the 36 set. Remember, I was talking, I put out a video, and I said I had ordered the new 60 set from Amazon Germany, but then it was like 6 to 7 months, and then it changed again. Then it was 1 to 3 months, and then it was all over the place, and the price was all over the place. But can you see? It's like Christmas, and it's July. It's Christmas in July. I am so excited. I am ridiculously excited. For those of you that are not aware, I love coloring with Faber-Castell Pitt pens. And I have colored with Faber-Castell Pitt pens for years. Even before I started my channel, I was coloring with them. And then, is it just last year? I think it's just last year. Staedtler came out with, I call them the Pitt Pen cousins. They are, and let's talk some more. Get this out of here. Yay! So this came in a larger Amazon box. And then in this nice box. And then this box. So it was really well packaged. So Staedtler came out with the Pitt Pen cousins. Now, Pitt pens, Faber-Castell Pitt pens, are a pigment-based, well, a pigment ink in a water-based pen. So they are different than a lot of the water-based ink pens that we see out there. Pardon me, it's still an ink. Water-based, dye-based pens that we see out there. So Tombows, a lot of those, you can get those really big sets on Amazon that are inexpensive, you know, that have the brush tip. Oh, who has them? I mean, all of those kinds of pens. So things like, I've got the set of Lyra Aqua Brush Duo. This, you can see this looks very similar to a Tombow, right? You've got that kind of nib. These are also water-based pens, but they are dye-based inks. Dyes and pigments are different, and I've done a video on that as well in the past, so I will try and remember to link that. Up until recently, Faber-Castell was the only company that I knew of that was making these India ink pigment-based, water-based pens. Now, there are other companies that do pigment-based pens, but they're often referring to more like the acrylic paint pens. Karin, K-A-R-I-N, or Karin, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, has their Deco Brush markers. I think that's what they're called. Those are, yeah, Pigment Deco Brush. Hang on. Where have I? Sorry, should have these ready. My apologies. My goodness, Connie. Here, these kind. So, K-A-R-I-N, it says Pigment Deco Brush. But these are not the same kind of beast as these. These are opaque. It's permanent ink. It is water-based, but it's more, and you can buy cheaper ones. This is almost more like, you know, you can get the Artex brush pens, right, with the acrylic ink in them. That's what these are like. So up until Staedtler came out with this multi-ink system, Faber-Castell was the only game in town. Now, Faber-Castell Pitt pens are wonderful. They're lovely. I love coloring with them. They're great quality. There are 60, I believe there are actually 61 colors if you count their white, which I use all the time as a color. Plus, I think there are 6 metallics. The metallics don't have a brush nib, they have a bullet nib. So their color range that effectively that I'm working with is 60 colors. They have this very small, see that, brush nib. It's a learning curve to learn to color with them, but I really enjoy it. And you can get, I mean, it's saturated, vivid colors. And you can get some really neat effects. There's all kinds of things you can do with them. I made some videos about, you know, what they are, how you can work with them. I posted those on my channel not too long ago as well, so I'll try and remember to link those videos down below. Only game in town until Staedtler came out with their pigment brush pen, and they call this their multi-ink technology. And last year they originally had come out with 36 max colors. So you could get them in a set of 36. There was a set of 24. There were 3 different sets of 12. And then there were some sets of 6 colors. But there was still only 36 max colors. You can also buy them individually through open stock at cultpens.com. I know a lot of people, I've seen, you know, folks commenting on some YouTube channels that they really wished they could get the Staedtler pens open stock. And you can. You can buy them at Cult Pens, open stock. As of right now, and I'm filming this on July 11th, I believe, 2024, Cult Pen still only has the original 36 colors open stock. I'm hoping, crossing fingers, that they will get the 24 new colors open stock soon as well, because that is why I purchased this. Now, I didn't need to get the 60 set, because the 60 set, this is new, the 60 set has the 36 original colors, and then there are 24 new colors. There is a set of just the 24 new colors on Amazon Germany, which is where I got this from. I'm in Canada. It did ship here. There's a bit of a hefty shipping cost when you order from kind of overseas Amazon companies. I'm sure the folks in Europe, you know, if they're ordering from Amazon US or Amazon Canada, are you know, they'll see the same thing. But I was so excited, and I love these pens so much that I bit the bullet. Now, when I bought these, I pre-ordered them before they were even released. I paid, I think it was like $79 US plus 20-ish US shipping, like $20.95 or something like that. So I think it came out to pretty close to like $100 US. It was like 102 or 103 or something like that US for this 60 set, and that was sort of, you know, the price and the shipping. I've since seen, and that was directly from Amazon, it wasn't a third-party seller. I have seen recently the price jump dramatically. Amazon, now Staedtler is a German company. That's why I went to Amazon Germany. And if you Google Amazon Germany in English, it will take you to a translated Amazon Germany site, which just makes things easier. I've seen this 60 set also advertised on Amazon UK, but it was listed for, it was like 189 US plus like 20 some, it was like 200 US. And yeah, I don't know that I would have paid that. I figured $100 US for 60 pens, that's not bad. You know, these are good quality pens. I know you can get, like I say, on Amazon, you know, a lot of those really inexpensive sets of the water-based, dye-based ink markers. But the pigment ink, that's a rarity. This is a rare beast. So I was okay with that price. I know they're not and I don't mean to sort of brush that off like, oh, you know, $100 US is nothing. It's definitely not. But I love these. These are the bread and butter of my coloring, and along with the Pitt pens. And so for the channel, I wanted to show them to you guys just because they're so exciting. And these are less expensive than the Faber-Castell Pitt pens. A set of 60 Faber-Castell Pitt pens right now, it's got to be running, I think, like around, I would say around 200 US for 60 Pitt pens. And when I bought these off of Amazon Germany, it was about 100 US for these 60 pens. So, you know, I know they're not a budget supply, but they are less expensive than the Pitt pens. So, shall we take a look? I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. So, you've got the colors here. There are color names and numbers on the pens, and I'll show you in a second where that is. I don't know what the Scan Me does. I haven't scanned it. There is this sort of outer casing that slides off. It just gives you some information. They do have light fastness ratings. They say it's classified in accordance with the blue wool scale and gray scale. Not sure what that is. Our own 5-star system simplifies this for you. Just have to look at the stars in the barrel. So 3 stars is good light fastness, 4 is very good, and 5 is maximum. And then they talk about sustainability. They talk a little bit about, you know, some techniques there. I'm assuming probably if you scan this, it'll probably take you to something on their website where they maybe talk more about techniques, that sort of thing. And then we've got this box. Sorry about the glare. There you go, Pigment Arts pen. Ah, that is different. Now, when I bought the original 36 set, it was a cardboard box, which is nice. I mean, that's, you know, a lot of people might complain about a cardboard box, but I mean, it is more sustainable, right? It just sort of had 2 dividers, and there was like a bunch of pens in the middle, a bunch of pens, you know, kind of in each of, so 12 probably pens in each of these little, and they were just kind of loose in there. That's kind of what I was expecting here. I wasn't expecting trays, basically. That is neat. All right. So we've got a little leaflet just in the top here. What is multi-ink? It's the same leaflet, I think, that came with the 36 set, if I remember. I didn't keep it. Yeah, it just talks about some of the things you could do, discover the possibilities. There are different nibs. You can get a soft brush, a calligraphy nib, which is that kind of square nib, and then a bullet nib, but the biggest color range is in the brush pens. The soft brush, I think, is just like some grays, 6 grays and a black or something like that. The calligraphy nib, about 20 colors maybe, and the bullet, I think, is just black. Yeah, there you go. So there's the 60 of the brush nib. Yeah, some grays. Oh, not quite 20, I guess. Maybe it looks like about 12. The calligraphy. Yeah. Trying to make the anticipation last. Anticipation is half the fun, isn't it? Hee hee. All right. So should we pull these out? So it's like they've, you know, pencils have those trays, and they're usually like plastic trays. These are cardboard. Even the trays are all cardboard, and they made like little slots, so you can see the pens fit in there, but it's all cardboard. That's really, really clever. I like that. I don't know that I'll keep them in this box. I have my Pitt pens and my Staedtler pens in the Spectrum Noir marker trays sitting on my desk. I just use they're in front of me. They're right there in front of me on my desk. So these will probably, and the fact that I've got duplicate colors here of, you know, of colors that I already have of the 36, those will just go in my I have a drawer in one of my storage units that's just got a bag of like duplicate colors. Because I have ordered some open stock. So that's okay. The 36 original colors that are in here will just go into the duplicates. So there's the second tray. Here's the third tray. And there's the fourth tray. I can already see. Let's play a little game. Let's see how well Connie knows the Pigment Arts pen colors from the original 36 set without looking. Let's see if I can pick out the 24 new colors. So let's put these back. We'll do it one tray at a time. It's a little game we're gonna play. All right, so tray number, whoa. You know, it's funny. Okay, I almost dumped them. They actually stayed in there quite well. And considering some of the flimsy pencil trays that we get, that's actually a really sturdy tray considering it's cardboard. That's funny. Okay. Ivory. This is one of the new colors. We did not have an ivory. There's an ivory Pitt pen, but we didn't have an ivory Staedtler pen. So I have this is just printer paper. I will go off and swatch these, but I wanted to just take a look at them first. So you're probably not going to see this real well, but I use the Pitt ivory color to blend out. Yeah, it's right there. It's right above my finger. There's Pitt ivory. Should we see how close they are? Okay. The Staedtler ivory is different. Let's see if I can get you down and show you that. Can you see? I know it's really hard to see. So there's the Staedtler ivory. It's a little bit yellower and a little bit darker. I mean, it's still a really pale color. The Pitt ivory is very, very pale. I don't even know if you can see that. So that's interesting. One of the things that I really, really like about the Staedtler color range, I'm not sure if they probably are trying to imitate Faber-Castell a little bit. But even in doing that, they're not exactly the same. So the fact that I have a Staedtler ivory and a Pitt ivory that are two slightly different colors, I could see them being in the same color family though, but they're slightly different. I think that's awesome because what it means is I'm basically adding colors to my Pitt range, because you can blend these with Pitt pens, you can blend Pitt pens with these. I mean, you can use them interchangeably. There's tiny differences in their ink. Their nibs are essentially the same. Here, let's show you the comparison. This is probably not the best color, but can you see those nibs? I mean, they're identical, right? There's a tiny difference in the ink consistency. The Staedtler ink, it seems, and I think I've said this before in a previous video, it's like it has a little bit more shellac in it. And shellac is I'm guessing, shellac is the component of these kinds of inks that sort of make them stay on the surface of the page a little more. And that's one of the brilliant things about these as opposed to these kinds of markers. If you take these kinds of markers and try and use them in most coloring books and blend them on the page, they don't blend, because the dye-based ink immediately soaks into the paper when you put it down, and then you go and try and use another color to blend, and it's too late. It's already soaked into the paper, right? These inks sit on the paper a little bit longer, and so you have a better chance of moving the ink of one pen with another pen and blending directly on the paper. So yeah, the fact it's a little bit different, basically we're getting colors, new colors that we can fit in with our Pitt pen range. And yeah, okay, so the ivory, I know that's a new color. Let's see here. Nope, pastel yellow is an old color. Yellow, that's one of the original 36. Ooh, bright yellow. That's a new color. I'm sure it is. What does that remind me of? What does that remind me of in the Pitt range? $109? Dark chrome yellow? Yeah. I mean, I've used these pens so much. I know the colors. Even so, I can see a tiny difference between those two. I know they look the same, probably on camera, but I can see a tiny difference. So this is a little bit almost brighter. The Staedtler colors they're a little bit more vivid than the Pitt colors. So that's exciting. Okay, so I'm gonna put here. I've been putting them back, but we're gonna put the new colors up here because then I can keep track of them, and we'll see if I get 24. I know this is a new color because coral. I do not remember seeing the lid that's that color. What is that similar to in the Pitt range? Maybe one of their flesh tones? Yeah, I can't. Like maybe 131 coral? No, that's different. It's pinkier. 132? No, I don't think it's going to be that one either. No. I don't think it's similar to their orange. Nope. Their cinnamon color, maybe? No, I don't think it's that one either. No. So I think the Staedtler coral, that's a color that we don't have in Pitt anywhere. I would bet money on it. I don't want to say that and be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we don't have that color anywhere. So that's a new addition. Orange, no, I'm pretty sure we have orange in the old colors. Scarlet Red, I do not remember in the old 36 set. Ooh, that is orangey red. Yeah, I don't remember that one in the 36 colors. Is that similar to Scarlet Red in the Pitt pens? Very similar. Brighter, I would say. More saturated? Is that the term I'm looking for? It's just more vivid. I think they're the same color family, but that's definitely more saturated. This is so awesome. We've got so many awesome new colors. That's just plain red. I know that was in the original 36 set. Cherry red, I do not remember. Sorry, I need to tuck that into the box there. That is an interesting color. That's a really rich, sort of deeper red, isn't it? What is that similar to in Pitt? So I'm putting that up there. I'm pretty sure that's new. This is deep red, 223. Close. That's going to be a good addition to basically the I have I'm kind of hoping now we've got 60 of these colors and 60 Pitt pens, like 120 colors. I know some are very similar, right? But I'm very excited. I think this is a new red too. Carmine Red. I don't remember this one. That's an interesting color. I do not think there's a Pitt equivalent to that color. Unless it is India Red? Sort of. But again, that's That's an interesting color. I think this one is new too. Wine red? I don't remember. So they gave us a lot of new reds. It's very similar to the one above, but it is darker. And I would say maybe leans more purple. I have a hard time picking up the undertones in reds. I don't know why. Actually, I have a hard time picking up the undertones in a lot of colors. Do we have a Pitt equivalent of this? Maybe the Caput Mortem? No, that's browner. Nope. So again, excellent, exciting addition to my Pitt pens. Bordeaux red, I'm sure we had before. Plum, I know we had before. Did we have red violet? I'm pretty sure we had red violet before. Did we have magenta? It's not a color I use very often. I think we had a magenta before, because we're still playing the game. Can Connie remember the original 36 colors? So let's put that tray to the side. Tray number 2. We did have rose pink before. We did have light rosé before. We did have lavender light before. I don't think we had this mauve color before. I think this is new. Oh, I love that color so much. For those of you who've watched my channel for a while, you know I am a big, huge fan of muted, kind of vintagey, grayed out colors. And that is stunning. Oh, I love this color so much. And I am almost positive, there is not a Pitt pen color that's equivalent to that. I do not... Looking at my Pitt pens off here to the side. Yeah, there's some purples, but they're much more saturated. Oh, I love this pen so much. Okay. Oh my goodness, I've been going for almost half an hour. Well, you guys do tell me you like the long chatty videos. Violet, I know we had before. Ice blue we had before. Hazy blue, I do not remember. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you guys where the... Oh my goodness, I got too excited and then I forgot. So the Staedtler pens do have a name, and then there's the star next to the name. You can see that there. So that's their light fast rating. If you are looking for the color number, Staedtler does have... They have a number system, a color number system, that's somewhat the same between their lines, but I've actually found there's some differences in their pigment, their multi-ink. Some of the primary colors are the same. For example, this was like the original red that was in the 36 set. It's called red. The color number, if you sort of rotate the pen a bit, kind of underneath the symbols here, it'll say art, and then it says NR. Ooh, help if I was on camera. Art NR 371-2. Can you see that? It's that 2 after the dash. That's Staedtler's color number for red. And that's pretty typical across their lines. Their reds, you know, in anything they have that does have color numbers, red is number 2. And orange, I think, is number 4, if I remember correctly. Yeah, orange is number 4. I think blue is 3. Green is 5, I think. But some of these other different colors, like this is hazy blue, and then if I turn the pen, it says art number 371-308. Some of these numbers kind of don't show up in their other color lines, and when they do, the numbers don't exactly match. So that's interesting. But yeah, hazy blue. This looks like maybe... I don't know how... I was trying to check to see how well the caps... Because, of course, the cap colors, and then there's a tiny bit of color at the end of the pen here. You know what? Not bad. No, not bad. So the cap plastic color is actually not a bad match to the ink color, which is pretty impressive because that's a hard thing to do. So I'm hoping this is like almost like a cornflower blue. I don't know if my camera is doing that justice. I'm looking on screen in front of me, and it looks actually, it looks a little bit more violet-y to my eyes than it does on the camera, but hazy blue, let's see. Ooh, that is a nice color too. Now I'm wondering, is that similar to Pitt Sky Blue 146? Sort of, but that is a much more grayed out, not much more, but it's a muted vintage kind of color. Oh, I love this one too. Woohoo! This is so exciting. And then there's another one, because I'm pretty sure the Delft Blue, that's a new one too. And this looks like it's again going to be kind of grayed out. Let's check it out. Oh, it is. And I do not think that there's a Pitt equivalent to that. I can't think of one. No. They're ultramarine. No, that's going to be brighter. Cobalt. No. This is another one. Oh my gosh, there's some gorgeous. These colors up here are okay. They're brighter than I would normally use. God, I'm loving these colors. Oh my goodness, those are nice colors. What do we have here? Light blue. No, I'm pretty sure there was a light blue. Yeah, there was light blue, pretty sure. This next one looks to be just their blue. Oh no, this is Pacific Blue. Was there a Pacific Blue? Pretty sure there was a Pacific Blue in the original 30 colors. No, pretty sure there was. That's their blue. So that I know was in the original 36. Indigo. I'm pretty sure Indigo was in the original 36 as well. This one I do not remember. Navy Blue. No, I don't remember that in the original 36. This must be a new color as well. That's gorgeous. And I don't think there's a Pitt equivalent to that. Because there's Indanthrene Blue 247. I mean, it's a darker blue, but it's not that vivid and saturated. And then there's a dark indigo, but this is almost black if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's a much. No, I do not think there's a Pitt equivalent to that color either. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Petrol Blue? I don't remember that either. Looks to be like we're getting into the greeny blues now. Yeah, that's a nice green blue. Deep, rich. Is there a Pitt pen equivalent to that? Maybe 156? They're cobalt green? I don't think so though. Nope, that's way lighter. I don't think there is. They're dark phthalo green? I don't think. Nope. Nope. I think that's another addition. Teal. Is there a teal? I don't think there was a teal. I think this is a new color as well. That's beautiful. That reminds me of well, I mean, it's close to the cobalt green. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. So it's just I mean, that's the cobalt green that I grabbed just up above there. But again, much brighter, right? And just much more vivid. I mean, that would be gorgeous. Ooh, I'm gonna have so much fun with these pens. Okay, tray number 3. Turquoise, I'm pretty sure is an old color, 36 set. Mint, I'm pretty sure is an old color in 36 set. Jade green is because I was just using this for doing some coloring. Pastel green, that's new. I know their greens quite well because I do a lot of, you know, florals and foliage and forest scenes. So this is exciting because there's a limited, in terms of using a light green to blend out greens when I'm blending on paper. Staedtler has this. I've got some old color Staedtlers off here to the side. They had lime green, and then they had this jade green, which is, it's almost like a minty green, but that was it. And so it was either kind of a green that leaned pretty blue, or this really bright lime green. There was kind of not like a neutral light green that you could use to blend out. And Pitt pens don't really have a neutral light green either. So if this is what I think it is, I'm gonna see if I can buy like a 10-pack of these. Oh, I'm nervous. What if it's not? What if I got my hopes up for nothing? Ooh. Oh, pastel green, I love you. Oh, I love you, pastel green. That's perfect. That is perfect. Okay, sorry, I'm losing focus here now. Focus, Connie. Okay, so here's a lime green. I know that's in the old set. Willow green, I know that's in the 36 set. May green. That's new. Now, May green in the Pitt pens is like my favorite, I would say my favorite Pitt pen color. I love May green. I mean, it's my favorite polychromos color. I love this green. That's a lot brighter. But I mean, so far, yeah, caps have matched actually pretty well. So let's see how bright this is, and we'll compare it to the Pitt pen May green. Ooh, that's not close. Because here's the Pitt pen May green. It's a really beautiful, almost like a sap green. So yeah, that's not. That almost looks like their regular green. Where's their regular green? Where's their regular green? I mean, it's kind of close. So, all right, mildly disappointed in their May green. I thought it was going to be their willow green is actually closer to the Pitt pen May green. So, sorry, I'm running out of room here. Now they're running off the front of my desk. So there was the Pitt pen May green, and there's willow green in the Staedtler. So it's a little brighter, but very comparable. The May green in the Staedtler is not the same as May green Pitt pens. That's okay. We could deal with that. That's just plain green. I know that's in the old set. Fir Green. That's new. That looks very dark, which would be, it would be nice, because the darkest green in the Staedtler set, the 36 set, was this olive green, which is, just sort of sketch it out here. I mean, it's dark, but this almost looks bluier though. I was kind of hoping for an olive green that was darker than this olive green. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's still coming. But let's, yeah, that's definitely a bluier green. But you know what? That's handy if you want to be blending and doing coloring with some of these, well, I mean, these colors right there, right? This would be a dark, in my, my eye for color is not great, folks. You guys know that. But I can see using that in conjunction with those kinds of greens. It's too blue, I think, to use with the yellow greens, but it's an interesting color, Fir Green. That pastel green is so... Okay, I'm going to have to start a new... How many do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so doing these, I've got 2 little rows of... Hopefully, when I'm done this, I'll have 2 rows of 12, because I'm supposed to have 24 new colors, right? This to me looks like they're olive green, yep. So what's this? Olive dark? Oh, is this the one I wanted? I'm scared. But the pastel green turned out well. Okay. I like it. Can I use it with... This is the olive. It's browner. I think I could do it though. I think I could. Yeah. We'll do. So I do like this. Not as much as the pastel green, but I do like this. So olive dark. Good. Good, good, good. Light peach. I'm pretty sure light peach. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the old colors. Light sand. I don't remember light sand. This will be... The original 36 set was really lacking in browns. They had... There was like a light... What was it called? It was called like raw sienna and then brown, and that was kind of it. And then they had like a golden, I think it was golden ochre or something like that. So it'll be nice if they've got some more browns. I was going to say it's almost like it's a little bit peachy, but maybe not. Is there a Pitt Pen color? Oh, sorry, I should have been... Oh, was there Pitt... I know there's... is there a Pitt Pen color? I just forgot about comparing Pitt Pens. I got too excited. For that Fir Green... They're dark phthalo green? Nope, that's darker. So that's an excellent addition. I am pretty sure that Pitt Pens do not have a green that dark. We've got 174 Chromium Green Opaque, so this is a Pitt Pen now. Nope. This is almost like their, the Staedtler Olive Green is kind of like the 174 Chromium Green Opaque. But no, so that's good. And I think, just thinking about, yeah, I mean, there's Permanent Green Olive. No, that's way, no, so that was it called Olive Dark? Excellent addition. Right, Light Sand, Staedtler. Apricot? Nope. That's much orangier. It's not their Ivory. Pitt Pens do have... It's called Pale Pink, but it's... No? That's an excellent addition. That Light Sand. Because Pitt Pens don't have a really, really light beigey brown like that. That's going to be so helpful to blend things out. Dusty Rose. Pretty sure that's a new color too. Now, Dusty Rose, this looks like a really grayed out... is it another grayed out color? It is, but you know what I think that is? It's very close to. That looks to me like Pitt Pen Cinnamon. Cinnamon. It is, but it's, you know what? I mean, you can see the resemblance there, right? Or is this more like beige red? No, it's not. It's, look at that. I mean, I know one of the things I struggle with in coloring is contrast. And I'm looking at those three thinking that's a stunning blending trio. It's probably not enough contrast for, I don't know, I should work on that. But dark, medium, and light, right? I would often blend those two Pitt pens, but there's a pretty big jump between those two. This bridges it. I didn't think it was going to be that dusty rose. I thought it would be a bit pinkier, but you know what? I like that color. I do. I have got pens going. I've got Pitt pens over here that I've pulled out and then just tossed to the side. There's stuff going on everywhere. Sand. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a sand. No, I don't think so. So this was light sand, wasn't it? Yeah. So this was light sand. Then we had dusty rose. That's also, I don't think there's a Pitt color. Nope, I don't think there's a Pitt equivalent to that. So again, super helpful color because it's light brown. And it actually goes really nicely with the light sand. Pitt pens, again, they weren't, I don't think they were originally made for colorists. That's not what Pitt pen, the point to Pitt pens was a lot of lettering, hand lettering, and I know artists would use them. But I don't think they were thinking in terms of colorists. So, you know, they didn't have a lot of the lighter colors in the Pitt pens just because you probably didn't need them. I mean, artists would, you know, probably color mix and I don't know what they would do, but that's exciting. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there must be 4 new ones in that last tray, unless I've messed up. And I didn't know the colors as well as I thought I did. All right, so let's take a look here. Dune. I am pretty sure that is a new color. That is also, every time I lay one of these colors down, my immediate thought is there a Pitt pen equivalent to that? I don't think there is. I'm just looking off to the side of my Pitt pens here. Nope. I don't think there is. So this is almost a nice kind of reddy brown. Nice. So, Dune. Umber. This is one of the browns that was in the 36 set, I'm pretty sure. So I think I said before it was like raw umber. I think they just call it umber. And this was in the 36 set because, yeah, it's a golden ochre. I think this was in the 36 set too. Sienna raw, yep. But I don't remember burnt sienna. I think that's new. I like that. That's like an earthy... I like earthy oranges. I know, like in the original 36 set, they had orange, you know, and it was orange. But I don't find a... And it's, again, it's the kind of the way I color and sort of what I gravitate to, but I don't have a lot of use for orange in my coloring because I tend to color... I tend to color realistic kind of, well, okay, not so realistic, but I tend to go with the earthy muted colors. And so, you know, traditional kind of orange just doesn't do it for me. I like that. I like that very much. Sorry, I had to pause and sneeze there. Is there a Pitt color like that? No. I don't think so. I mean, the Pitt pens, there are some browns. but I don't think there's a red brown like that. Or like an orangey. They do have, they're sanguine, but I think that's, well, that's pretty close. This is a little more orangey, I think, this Burnt Sienna, but that's Pitt Sanguine. That's close-ish, but that's the only one I can think of. Okay. I feel like I don't, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So there's only 2 new colors here, but I feel like there's more than that. So maybe I screwed up. I don't know. Let's see. Maroon. I do not remember a maroon. I don't think so. That is an interesting color. That's dark. It almost looks under my lights. I mean, it's almost looking black, but it's not. It's like this really, really dark, reddy brown, purpley brown. Is there a Pitt equivalent to that? I don't think there is. I mean, there Kaput Mortuum, M-O-R-T-U-U-M. There's 2 U's in that word. 169, but that's right there. I think this is quite a bit. That's the closest, I think, but this is quite a bit darker. Interesting. So there's maroon. Now, if I've done this correctly, which I'm starting to doubt, there should be only 1 new color, but we have all these left to go. 1 more new color, I should say. Okay, well, let's no, okay, brown I know is in the old set. I don't remember dark brown. So are all of these in the old set? Maybe they are. Maybe they didn't give us any new grays. Okay, so dark brown. That's nice. And I mean, again, that almost looks black. It might even look black to you in camera, but it's a very, very dark brown. That's nice. Now, I do think Pitt does have 2 very dark browns. They've got dark sepia and walnut brown. So here's their dark sepia. And here's their walnut brown. They're quite close. The walnut brown, this dark sepia is a little bit lighter and redder. And this is a little bit, the walnut brown is a little bit grayer, maybe? I'm trying to figure undertones to browns here, and it's hard. But this dark brown in the Staedtler, that's a much richer dark brown, if that makes sense. So that's nice. That's nice that we have another dark brown. Okay, so if I know what I'm talking about, which is debatable at the best of times, these should all be in the old 36 set. Warm gray light. 840. I'm pretty sure that was in the old set. Warm gray medium. 84. I'm pretty sure that was in the old set. Cool gray light. 870. Pretty sure that was in the old set. Cool gray medium. 87. I think that was in the old set. Cool gray dark. 871. I'm pretty sure that was in the old set. Light black, yes, I know that was in the old set. And intense black. Okay, so there's 24 pens. Cool gray dark. Okay, I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna look at my, because I think there's my 24. I think there's the new 24. Cool gray dark. I'm gonna cheat. Was that 871? Oh, it is in the old set. I think I did it. Okay, so I'm gonna just put these back. So what's left in the trays are the colors that were in the original 36 colors. Ooh. Put the little tabs down so they fit in there. There we go. All right, so there's our original 36 colors. And here, I'm trying to keep them in the same, they actually came in a really nice color order, didn't they? It went from yellow through to orange and red, pinks, purples, blues, blue-greens, greens, and then your earth tones, your browns, and so yeah, it's a great color order. That was the other thing with the old 36 set. It was just these two little dividers and like a handful of 12 pens. So I mean, there was no color order, right? It was just loose in there. But this had a color order. That's nice. So there are your 12, oh my goodness, 24 new colors. And there are some stunners in there. I mean, that pastel green, that's brilliant. That mauve and these grayed out kind of blues. I mean, these really dark saturated colors. I mean, they're great. Don't get me wrong. Actually, now that Fir Green is drying, no, sorry, that was Fir Green. This was, what was it called? Olive Dark, right? Yes. Now that that's drying, I can see that now a little better. It's almost drying less brown, or maybe I just moved it in the light. I don't know. I'm liking that bright yellow, and I'm liking this ivory. I realize it's not as light as the Pitt ivory, but I think it's going to be useful. These browns are great. Yeah. There are some really awesome colors. Now, like I say, there is a 24 set on Amazon Germany with just these 24 new colors. I also have that on pre-order. I know, it's ridiculous. Which means I'll have doubles of these. But it has not shipped yet, and it says I can expect it sometime in August. So, and when I ordered that one, pre-ordered that one, it was 24 new colors, and it was like 33 US, and then plus the shipping cost, which, 33 US for 24 new colors. I thought that was, but again, I've looked recently. Mind you, I think it was about 44 US on Amazon Germany, plus the shipping cost. But if you wait a while, if you may be able to get them on better deals. I don't want anyone rushing out and paying, like the 60 cent on Amazon UK for $200 US. That just seems excessive. But yeah, and I'm hoping that Cult Pens starts carrying these 24 new colors open stock, because like I say, I would so buy so many of those pastel greens. That is a brilliant blending color. Brilliant. On Amazon Germany, they do sell boxes of 10 of these individual colors. So I could buy a box of just 10 pastel greens. I don't know, that seems excessive, doesn't it? Would I use 10 pastel greens? I don't know. I might. You never know. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys because I was so excited when this box of 60 came. There's not even words. And I know that's very nerdy and geeky. For those of you that aren't aware, I am a chemistry teacher. That's my day job. So I guess nerd and geek are just part of who I am. But I was so excited, and I wanted to unpack these with you guys. So yeah, there are the 24 new colors. There's some really, really awesome additions there. Awesome. I will be putting these into my color order system, because I'll show you here. These are little swatch cards that I just keep tucked in the racks where I have my current Pitt pens and Staedtler pens. And what I did was I intermingled the Staedtler and the Pitt pens so that I tried to put them in color order and have them intermingled. So I don't have, all my Pitt pens and then all my Staedtler. I intermingled them all so that I could, because I use them together, right? I don't just use Pitt pens and I don't just use Staedtler. I do use them together. So, colors like this 505, and then it's got an S after it. That means it's a Staedtler. That color doesn't exist in Pitt pens, so I put it with 161 and 156, which are Pitt colors, because I think those three together work really well. So that's what I did. So I will be redoing this and putting these 24 new colors, intermingling them in. So I'm going to have to do some new swatch cards. And basically I'm going to have 120 markers. Now, some of them, like I say, are, you know, we've got this, what was it called? Bright yellow. That's pretty close to the 109 in Pitt pens. So, and that did occur before. Like if you look here, where's two that are really close? The 148, which is a Pitt color. And then it says 310S. So that's the Staedtler. I think that's a Staedtler Ice Blue. They're pretty close. So I just sort of put them together. They're just sitting together in the rack. They're next to each other on the card because that's pretty close. So, you know, there's 109, the Pitt pen. So I will probably, you know, just stick the Staedtler pen either before or after it. I don't think it's really going to matter. It's pretty close. So yeah, I will intermingle these. I will do some new cards, and maybe I will, because I really want to get this video out to you guys. I will, no, you know what? I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to go off because this will maybe take me, depends how good I am at it. It'll take me a bit, and I will make up some new cards, and then I will come back and I will share the intermingled 120 marker. I don't want to say 120 colors because some of them are obviously not different, but 120 marker set. So my 60 Pitt pens and the 60 Staedtler pens. So I'm going to pause this and I will return. All right, I am back. So this is how I figure out where the new colors would go, how they would integrate with the colors that I already had. Now, this is just my opinion, right? Color order is very, excuse me, very subjective, I think. Probably not if you were a professional artist, then you would, sorry about that, had to pause and cough. If you were a professional artist, it would probably be a lot more consistent because you would have a better eye for color than I do. So I tried my best. So I just thought I'd show you my scratch paper here. And now, these are the old cards. So I was doing some arrows and I took the opportunity to actually change even some of the order that I had with the colors that I already had integrated with the Pitt pens. So here, you ready? Here's the new order. Goes up a bit. Move that. See if I can. Oh no, I guess if I come in, then I'll cut them off. I will take a picture of these and probably post it. I'll put it in a Google Drive folder, the pictures, and then I'll post the link in the description of this video. So if you want to download the picture of this so you can see all the color numbers. So I didn't write color names in here. It's just the color numbers. And just like on the previous cards, if there's an S at the end, that means it's a Staedtler pen. If there's nothing at the end, so that says 4S, so that's a Staedtler pen, and this one just says 118, so that's a Pitt pen. There are actually, there should be 124 colors on these cards because the white is on here, and there are 3 big brush Pitt pens that I included on here as well. I don't have all the big brush. The big brush Pitt pens were these ones. They don't make them anymore. And I wish I had a full set, but I don't. But I do have some that I got. There was a couple places I got some open stock. They were, selling out stock. There was a set of like 15 on Amazon a couple of years ago. But there are 3 colors in the big brush. Now, these are not the new Pitt pens. The new Pitt pens are the dual dual. And these also have a big brush, but they're not called, these were actually called big brush Pitt pens. These are called Pitt Artist Pen Dual Marker. And the 3 colors that I have in the big brush Pitt pens that don't exist in the regular size Pitt pens, and they also don't exist in that new dual Pitt pen, are also included here. So they are marked with, you'll see this says BB 102, that's big brush 102, BB 160, and then BB 278, which is this one. So if you were putting these cards together and you didn't have these, which you may not, unless you were a crafter from way back, I think lots of crafters use these, then you wouldn't have those colors in here. But yeah, so I guess 60 plus 60 plus 1, 2, it should be 124. So this is 44, 88, 99, I'm mathing, 110, 121, 22, 23, 24. There we go. I'm going to live with this order. We will see. There were a few, one color in particular, I could not figure out where to put it. And it's the 420S. It's that new Staedtler pen, the Coral. I could not figure out where to put it. It's peachy, so it didn't go with the oranges. But it's too orange to go with the peaches, if that makes sense. So I was really struggling. So it kind of goes with 116, which is a Pitt pen. It's, what's it called? Apricot. So these two kind of go together. Before I had apricot with 131, which is the Pitt pen that's called Coral. So this is the Staedtler Coral. That's the Pitt Coral. They're quite different. The Pitt Coral is much pinkier. This is much orangier. The apricot kind of didn't go with this coral anyway, so it actually works better, I think, with the Staedtler Coral. And then the Pitt Coral is just kind of a weird outlier. It sort of goes with the Pitt Cinnamon, but not exactly. So again, I mean, there's certainly, if you guys are looking at this and you think you don't agree with something, I totally get it. You could probably convince me to change, quite a few things here. Something I'm super excited about. And I was excited when we were going through these new colors. You guys probably know, if you've been watching on my channel, this 220, which is right here. It's the Pitt Light Indigo 220. I love this color. I use it for water and glass and ice and sky. It doesn't... Faber-Castell in their artist lines, the color names and numbers are the same across the lines. So if you have, May Green 170 in Pitt pens, May Green 170 in Polychromos, May Green 170 in the Albrecht Dürer pencils, right? Light Indigo 220 is not in Polychromos, and it's not in the Albrecht Dürers, which is really unfortunate because it's a fantastic color. It's that one right there. It's just an amazing color. So I use this to base all kinds of things, but I didn't really have anything to blend it out, like a darker, or I guess to blend, just as a darker shadow color for this. So I was using the Sky Blue, so 146 and 220, which they work, but I think this 220, look at that trio right there. These are 2 new Staedtler colors. This was the Hazy Blue and the Delft Blue, I think. I think that's fantastic. So I'm seeing a lot of blending trios. and even more sometimes. So this is super exciting. That mauve color, I love it, but it turned out to be a really tricky one to place. It's down here. I think it goes really well with the Pitt magenta, which is interesting because I never really had another color that would go with this Pitt magenta. Now, it's too bad, you know, the mauve is down there and the magenta is up there. I think they're going to work well together. And I honestly think they're going to work well with the Staedtler plum. Now, the mauve is a lot grayer than the plum, certainly. The magenta kind of falls a bit, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I think about that. So it's a beautiful color. I love it. But I was struggling where to place it. It doesn't fit with the purples here. It doesn't really fit with the red violets. It was tricky. Yeah, I think with that magenta, and then the plum is a little bit too red violet that it actually maybe should have been down here. Oh well, I will live with this for a while, and we'll see if again, it doesn't, I make it sound like, you know, because I put the plum up here, you know, it can't. I mean, if I want to grab the plum and some of these colors and blend them, there's nothing. The art police won't come and stop me because I didn't put them in that order on my cards, right? You can grab and blend whatever you want. This is just a color order, and it was an interesting exercise. Oh, and the blending trio here with the light indigo and then those two new Staedtler colors, I found this is 247, so this is Indanthrene Blue in the Pitt range. Those four I thought worked really nicely together. And then I put 146 with Ultramarine, so I put Sky Blue with Ultramarine instead, both Pitt pens. And then this 36S is Indigo in the Staedtler. And then we work, so there wasn't really any new pinks. There's the new yellow. Some of the new reds are up in here. So 24S, that's Scarlet Red. This is Scarlet Red in Pitt, and this is Scarlet Red in the Staedtler, so that's new. And then that's new. That was the Cherry Red, so I thought that worked in there. And then there's the Mauve. This whole pink section here, that's, I think, pretty much unchanged. They really didn't give us any new pinks. They didn't really give us any new violets. And then we get into sort of the violet-y blues, and then more of the blues start over here. So there's Cobalt Blue in the Pitt range. That's just blue in the Staedtler. And then there's the new blue. I think that's navy, right? Yeah, navy blue. Now, I mean, these are blues as well, but to me these lean a little bit violet. I don't know. Maybe not on camera, but I think they do under my lights anyway. And then we've got, now I didn't know if I should include these down here, but I still think these three lean the tiniest bit violet. Because if you look at sort of that section right there, those five, that's more true blues, I think. So I didn't really add anything in there. Those five were you know, there's some Pitts and from the old Staedtler. 154 and 153 in the Pitt range are kind of on their own. They're bluey green, but they're a really beautiful blue green. They're a lovely. They ride that line between blue and green. Maybe they're even a little bit more blue than green, because they don't fit in with. Once we start with 505, which is, I think that's the jade green. Yeah, so this is an old Staedtler color. These are blue greens as well, but they're much greener than 154 and 153. So they're just, the two of them are there together as a little blending pair. And then from this 505S Staedtler, and then 35S, and then 355S. That's the new one. That's Teal or Petrol Blue? What am I looking at here? Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Teal, I think. Yeah. So these three Staedtler pens I thought were a really nice blending trio. So you've got mint, turquoise, and teal. So mint, turquoise, and teal. And again, I separated those three out from these down here because these to me are slightly greener than those. But maybe I'm just getting too fussy now. So then we've got some Pitt pens here, and then another new Staedtler. So this is the Petrol Green. So I thought that worked with, again, forming another little blending trio here. So we've got Phthalo Green, Cobalt Green, Pitt pens, and then Petrol Blue, the Staedtler pen. And then we're into the greens. And I did, if you look at my scrap paper here, I did a lot of greens, just scribbling, and I was just blue greens here as well, and the browns were hard. But I was just trying to, I don't know, maybe I was overthinking. It's possible. You know me, I never overthink. Yeah, I overthink everything. Starting with this 506S, that is the Jade Green. We've got sort of these five are true greens, I guess, maybe you would call it. So we've got the Jade Green and then the 162, which is light phthalo green, I think, from the Pitt. And it's interesting, I didn't put the light phthalo green with the phthalo green because it didn't. The phthalo green is more blue, right? Like those two there. So even within the Pitt range, I was playing with things. And then we've got just green. This is the Staedtler. That's they just call it green. And then that is dark phthalo green from Pitt. And that's one of the new Staedtlers. That's the Fir Green. I just thought it was definitely a bluey green, or maybe not a bluey green, but it certainly wasn't a yellowy green, right? Not to me anyway. So I thought those five. Now 506S and 162, the Jade Green Staedtler and the light phthalo green from the Pitt range, they're almost the same color, right? So I mean, I guess really you've got four blending colors there. But I don't know. I think they'll work. And then we move into yellowier greens, but not olives yet. So this is the lime green from the Staedtler, so that's old. And then that's leaf green, Pitt. And this is the new May green from the Staedtler line. And then this is a Pitt pen permanent green olive. Now, they call that an olive, and I tried using it because my olives are kind of right there. But there's something about it that doesn't fit here. I've used it to blend with, May green and these other colors. But yeah, I just thought, I don't know, went a little bit better there. That's probably my favorite right there. Or even down here, but we'll talk about these first. So you've got light green from Pitt, May green from Pitt, the willow green from the Staedtler, the olive green from the Staedtler, and then that new olive dark. I'm excited to color with that because that was really missing from this, a dark olive color. There's that beautiful pastel green, and I think it's going to go, that trio right there, the pastel green, the earth green from the Pitt range, and then the chromium green opaque. And then if you want darker, There's that big brush 278. So you can always stick that in there. This color exists in the polychromos. It's chrome oxide green. But yeah, so that's some exciting greens. I think that's some really nice, starting there, foliage greens. These are a little, I mean, you could, sure, make some foliage. It's funny, they call that leaf green. To me, that's like green. That's a little, I don't know. I could have put the 530. Quite often, I interchange this lime green in Staedtler with the light green in the Pitt, but I decided to put it with these greens instead. The light green in the Pitt is a little bit yellow, more yellow, I think, than the lime green from the Staedtler. And then we're into kind of skin tones, earth tones, browns, grays, that whole thing. I struggled here. I mean, I struggled a lot of places, but I struggled here. And we already talked about, my struggles in here. So there's a new one. There's that Dusty Rose? No. Yeah, Dusty Rose. That's very similar to, or I think it's going to work really nicely with the cinnamon from the Pitt range. Here, we talked about this already. I don't know. Those three, I don't know what to do there. These are older colors, so that was that's the umber, which is very similar to the green, or sorry, that's not umber. Sorry. Golden ochre, forgive me. The golden ochre in the Staedtler range, old color, is very similar to the green gold in the Pitt, which this is a great color. And then you've got terracotta in the Pitt range, which is very, if you look at those two, very similar to, what do they call this one? Sienna Raw, and this is an old color as well. The sanguine in the Pitt range is very similar to this new Burnt Sienna in the Staedtler range. Those two there. And I actually took some of the new reds, and instead of putting them in with the reds here, I moved them to the end here where it's kind of, again, it's those earthier colors. So I stuck them in with, this is India Red in the Pitt, 192. And then these two right here are two of the new reds from the Staedtler range. So that's Carmine Red and then Wine Red. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could have put them in there, but they just felt earthier to me. So I thought, well, stick them in there. And then the maroon, I stuck right next to the Caput Mortem from Pitt. So right there. The maroon really is, I mean, it's a brown, but it does have a bit of violet, and so does this Caput Mortem. So. And then we're sort of into kind of the browns. So 470S and 76S, I kind of stuck those two together. They're browns, but to me they have just a hint of red in them. I don't know if you can see that or if you agree with me, but that 470S, that's Dune. That's a new color. The 76 is brown. That was an old color. The Dune was a hard color to place. I didn't know where to put it. So those two are kind of together. And then 180, which is the Pitt Raw Umber, is very similar. And I know it's hard, but very, very similar to this Umber from Staedtler, and that's an old color. And then 175, it's quite a jump, but you actually can blend those two together. But the 175 from Pitt, that's the dark sepia, I thought fit there. And the 78S, which is a new color, that's the dark brown from Staedtler. It's very close to the sepia. It is a little bit darker though, so I thought, well, put those. So 180, 790, 175, 78, sort of those four, I felt kind of could blend together. And then the last brown group here, so it starts with 107. Now 107, that's actually the new Ivory. I didn't keep it at the beginning with the Pitt Ivory because if you look at the next, so there's the Pitt Ivory and there's the Staedtler Ivory. This is definitely browner, I think. The Pitt Ivory is quite yellow. The Staedtler Ivory is browner. And you know what? That's actually great because those 5 right there, so this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, they make a really great gradation for, I don't know, like true browns, I want to call them. Neutral browns, is that a term? So we've got the Staedtler Ivory, and then 2 more new Staedtler colors, the light sand and sand. So there's light sand, sand. And then I finished it off with 2 Pitt colors. 178 I think is nougat, and then 177 is walnut brown. So kind of neutral browns, almost leaning, no, I was going to say leaning gray, but I don't think they do. They're just neutral browns. And I think that's great because before, I mean, those top 3 I didn't have. So, you know, I was trying to do neutral browns. I didn't have a light. I had 178 and 177. That was it. So I'm really excited about having those lighter colors. And then we're into the grays, which didn't really, I intermixed my Pitt and Staedtler grays. So I've got the warm grays, so starting with the darkest warm gray and then getting lighter. There's the lightest warm gray, which is the Pitt 270. And then we get cool grays. The only change I made at the end here in the grays is this, 157, which is the Pitt Dark Indigo. I used to have this dark indigo mixed in with the blues, but I think it's more of almost a Payne's gray to me color. So I just put it at the very end of the cool grays, the cold grays. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it fits there, maybe it doesn't. I just thought I would stick it there. I don't tend to use it with the blues anyway. So, and again, just because it's there doesn't mean that I can't bring it back up here and you know, use it with some blues. And then there are 3 blacks, which is neat. That's neat to have 3 blacks. You've got the light black from, and none of these are new, but I just think it's neat to have them. So you've got the light black, which is almost like, it's almost like the darkest cold gray, or is it more of a warm? No, maybe it's more warm. Yeah, I think it is. You could maybe disagree with me, but I think this light black would work well as, I mean, it's very similar to 274, which is the darkest warm gray in the Pitt range. 6, is it warm gray 6? No, warm gray 5. So you've got that light black, and then we've got the Pitt black, which is right there, which is, I mean, it's a pretty typical black. But then we've got this intense black from Staedtler, and this is an old color. This is in the 36 set. This is a fantastic color, and I don't know if the camera's picking that up. I hope it is. It's black. It's blacker than the Pitt black, and the Pitt black was pretty black to begin with. But this intense black is a fantastic color. So, again, you can get these Staedtler pens open stock through Cult Pens. I think it's worth getting, you know, intense black. It's a really, really useful, handy color. You can also get Pitt pens open stock through Cult Pens. So then you could pick up a light ivory, light indigo, 220 Pitt pen. Oh, you could also pick up a white Pitt pen. Those 3, then you'd be good. But yeah, this took longer than I anticipated, but oh my goodness, it was fun, and I am so excited to color with these new colors. Here's the sad thing. It's not really sad. Well, it's kind of sad. This is actually occurring in the middle of me filming this color along that I've been doing in Kirby Roseanne. And I decided, you guys probably haven't seen this yet, because I think this video is going to go out before this one. I decided, I had originally said that, because remember I mentioned I had done a black background, and then we were going to use a combination of Pitt and Staedtler. But I decided to just use Staedtler pens in here, just because I thought more people had them. But now I have these new colors, but I don't want to introduce the new colors into that color along, because I know very, very few people are going to have these new Staedtler colors, which, I mean, I don't blame you, right? You got to get them from Germany, and I mean, so, I could so work. Nope. Gonna stick with the original 36 colors in that color along. But I will color other things with these new colors. Oh, yes, I will. You will see at the end of July 2024. Completed pages. Whew. Now, I've already been talking for an hour and a half, and you know what? There was something else so equally cool that I found, and I haven't even talked about it yet. So I'm going to grab it. Goes away. You saw it at the very beginning of the video. I found, and I didn't know this existed. I don't even know how I found it. I think I was looking at the Staedtler website. Can you see what this says? This is multi-ink blending liquid. This is a colorless blender for the Staedtler pens, which means I would think it's a colorless blender for the Pitt pens. Pitt pens don't have a colorless blender. Now, I have been using Tombows, the colorless Tombow, to do some blending. And it works okay. It struggles sometimes because the ink isn't quite the same. You can use a water brush to blend out the Pitt pens and the Staedtler pens. Again, it's not quite the same chemical composition, right? Your best blending is always going to be if you have a pen that contains basically it would be like the solvent system. That's the same solvent system that they use for the pens, just without pigment. Does that make sense? So when you've got the Staedtler pens, it's not just like they dissolve pigment in water and off you go. It's a complicated solvent system in here. If I had to guess, there's water, there's probably shellac, there might be some gum arabic in there, there might be, I don't know, but there's a whole solvent system plus pigment, right? The best blender for this is going to be that solvent system that just doesn't have any pigment. That's what this is. Now, here's the catch. Well, you know what? No, I won't say it's a catch. It's actually better. You'll notice this does not look like a pen. So I'm gonna take this. I bought this from Amazon UK. Now, I don't know whether they had it on Amazon Germany. I actually didn't look. And the reason I got it from Amazon UK was because I actually ordered a Coloria book. So I was putting this order in, so I stuck this on. It comes in this bottle. So this is a 50 milliliter, so it's 1.69 fluid ounces bottle. And they actually suggest you can either put some of this in like a little dish and paint it on with a paintbrush, or put it in a water brush, like one of these. Just get an empty one and put this liquid in here. Now, I haven't tried that yet. I think I have an empty water brush. Even if I don't, I just dump the water out of one of them and put this in. But I'm going to try something else. Once upon a time, one of my viewers, I was talking about, this is when I was talking about the Holbein melt solution. And I was talking about creating my own blender pen with this Holbein melt solution. So I got an empty Copic, and I put the Holbein melt solution in here. And by the way, this works brilliantly, because you can use the brush nib to blend out a fair number of colored pencils, but it also works amazingly well on water-based pencils, like watercolor pencils. But one of my viewers said they do the same thing, but instead of using a Copic, it's by Schmincke, and it's called the Aqua Drop Liner. You see that? It comes empty, and you can buy replacement tips for it. And it's basically meant for, they sell these Aqua Drop inks, and you can kind of mix your own colors and put them, it's kind of like an empty Copic, except it's meant for water-based mediums. And weirdly, that makes a difference. I have a couple empty Copics, and I've tried, just out of curiosity, I've tried to put watercolor medium in them. The nibs in Copics are meant to absorb, well, alcohol marker, right? They're not really meant to absorb and sort of push through water-based mediums. So I tried an empty Copic with water-based, some watercolor medium that I had. Did not work at all. It was weird. Like, beat it up on the foam nib. Like, it just didn't work. So I don't think putting this in an empty Copic would work. The nibs aren't going to work. But this is meant for water-based stuff. Now, I actually have Holbein melt solution in here because I wanted to try it. And you can get these, I think jet pens. You can buy them, jet pens. You might be able to find them on Amazon too. I'm pretty sure I got mine. Actually, I got mine from it's an online art store here in Canada called paintspot.ca. That's where I got mine. And I got some replacement nibs as well. But look at the nib on this. You actually unscrew it. And then there's a cartridge. See? So then you just, it gives you directions here on how to do it. The nib. That is very similar, not quite the same, but pretty similar to the Pitt and the Staedtler nibs, right? It's a little bit longer, but it's small and it's fine. And I tend to use these Staedtler pens and the Pitt pens to color really small, tiny areas. So I was thinking, yeah, you can get water brushes with some pretty fine nibs. You can get some pretty small paint brushes. But, putting this in, I don't know, I just was thinking if I had something that had a very similar nib to the Pitt pens and the Staedtler pens, that would be great because it's the same area, right? It is small. That's when I thought of this. So this has Holbein melt solution in it. I ordered another one of these from paintspot.ca. Should be here the next day or two. And so I will fill it with this, and then I will do another video and we will see how it works. So this, I haven't even tried this. I'm not even sure what this yellow thing is for. Maybe, you can just unscrew the top. There's no smell to it because it's not alcohol, right? It's water-based. Is it one of these pull-up tops? Oh, okay. There we go. That was me not thinking. So it does have a very fine nozzle at the end. You see that? And this is just the cover for the nozzle. So actually, I think it just, I tried, it doesn't really screw off, but it's easier to get off that way. So, this is brilliant because this is so much better than them just making a blender pen. That's like 50 milliliters of solution in there. So I buy one of these. I can refill it tons of times with this bottle because I'm sure this only holds. It can't be more than, just trying to see if it says. 24. 24. Yeah, it doesn't really say. But I mean, a couple milliliters, 2, 3, probably at most. I can refill this so many times with this bottle. And you can buy replacement nibs. So if this gets, because this is just kind of a fibery, it's not like foam rubber. So it probably will get frayed. And you just replace the nibs. So this is, I'm really hoping this works. Like I say, I haven't tried it yet because it says Holbein melts in it. And I'm waiting for the empty one so I can do this. But I will definitely make another video and we will try and do some blending. Because this is awesome. So that was an hour and 40 minutes of super excitement. Yeah, I'm very tired now because it's an hour and 40 minutes of recording, and then there was probably at least an hour in there of me trying to figure out the color order, maybe even more of those pens. So I'm going to call this good for now. As always, I hope everyone is safe. I can't even talk anymore. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is enjoying their coloring. I don't know if anyone is even still here at this point. Let me know in the comments if you made it to this point. If you like my videos, consider liking them, subscribing to my channel, hitting that notification bell, leaving me a comment. Just saying hi, letting me know what you think. Letting friends know that you found a channel that you like and they might like it too. Until next time, guys, take care. Bye-bye.